with all due respect, as far as like coming from me, I'm really not going to talk football when I come in these meetings and a lot of recent events that have been happening around the country. I just think for me and my platform, my duty is to speak out on the things that are happening, and that's just my stance. So if y'all have any questions about what's happening or what's going on with the team with that stuff, then I'll answer them. But I'm just not going to talk football this year.
Does anyone have questions regarding?
Yeah, I do.
Anything, any type of team stuff, systematic oppression, all that. All right.
Okay. So Kenny, you about yesterday with everything that happened, you guys making a solid statement there as a team.
Yeah.
Pushing forward, do you guys plan to do anything individually just with the season and anything during games or before games at this point? Has that been talked about?
No, and I think, and we still got a couple weeks of the season. I think yesterday, we obviously want to keep the things we talk about in-house, but I know for me, the next step is just taking action, getting into communities, being a shining light and example, not just a hashtag, not just a black square that everybody in the world posted on Instagram and thought that meant something. Not making this a movement, but making it a lifestyle. Us guys, leaders of the team, got together and we talked about different things we can do maybe on our off days to show action, to show that we really want change and we're not just talking about it. And, like canceling a practice really, I don't really like, we didn't do that because we didn't want to win a ball out. We did that because we felt it was only right that we sat down and talked about all the different emotions that everybody was going through with the team, made sure that we respected everybody, and made sure really everybody know that we're family, and then our football team needs to be a shining light to the outside world and how it needs to be done, how people need to be treated. And that's where I'm at with that.
Chris Harris.
Yeah. Hey, Kenny, along those lines, how do you balance football with trying to take action and be active in the social justice platform? Like, how does that look going forward?
I think when I'm in the building, I'm locked in, I'm focused, I'm doing my daily routine because, football is football. But at the end of the day, when I step out those doors, I consider myself a black man. I consider myself having a responsibility to speak up. I feel like me and KB talked about this. There's not too many Martin Luther Kings or Malcolm X. There's those people, young kids look up to athletes now. That's their heroes. That's their superheroes. And people can say, shut up and dribble, or, don't, stick to sports. But at the same time, enough is enough. And that's just how I feel. Not everybody's going to have the same stance as me. I'm not going to say I was, I've been on the front line like my brother Kenny Stills has this whole time. I'm not saying that, I'm doing this and that every single day. This is for me. This is where I feel comfortable is speaking on it. I think I can do that.
And kind of along those lines, how much impact do you think just sitting out one practice can have? And are there more impactful things that you guys can do or may do in the future?
I don't think sitting out of practice is going to stop police from killing black men. I don't. I think sitting out of practice allowed us to get together, talk about a plan with our team, and put that plan to action, and not just skip practice and go home and just miss a day just because of things that happen. We spent hours and upon hours talking about different ideas and different things we could do, and spent the whole day. We went to individual meetings, team meetings, and we talked about one issue, and we got together and we came up with a plan. And the best thing we can do is influence our youth. It's not going to happen in my lifetime, but my son, Kenan and KB, they're going to think different. I want that generation to understand that how life needs to be. So I think it's our duty as young men and women just to change the next generation.
Terry McCormick.
Kenny, whether it was calling off practice yesterday or just the way he handles himself on a day-to-day basis, what do you think are the best qualities of Mike Vrabel as the head coach of the Titans?
Well, obviously, I love Coach Vrabel. I say me and him are very close. Some of the things he preaches, some of his core values, things he talks about at practice, some of the things that just the values we have in football. He treats his players like brothers. He treats his staff it's just a family feel, and he preaches still all the time. There's no white, black, purple, green. It's we're all in this together, and I just wish everybody could experience the locker room. But in Vrabel, he's a reflection of our leadership and our team. He's when you think of the Tennessee Titans, you think of Mike Vrabel and everything he believes in.
John Glennon?
Hey, Kenny. I know a lot of the other pro sports leagues, actually canceled games and so forth. That wasn't an option, obviously, for you guys in the NFL. But could that, be a scenario going forward? I mean, has that kind of thing even been discussed as well to make an impact? Sitting out actual regular season games.
Well, right now we're working on the next step, which is how we can take action in the community. We haven't planned that far ahead. We're still Monday will be 2 weeks out, right? We're taking this thing day by day. It's a new experience. You don't want to rush anything. You don't want to make any emotional decisions. I think this is a daily thing, and right now we haven't talked about that.
Teron?
Yeah, Kenny, you mentioned your sons, and as a black father, knowing that how it could be for them, in the future, if they have an interaction with the police, how it could result.
Yeah.
What do you like? How do you go about verbalizing that to your sons to make them understand that?
Well, my goal is that one day when they're 16 and they can drive, that we're not having to have these same discussions. That's the whole point of taking action right now and hoping that our future's brighter. But it's sad. My sons are, I'm half black, half white. It's not like I'm on either side, but if you have any ounce of black in you, you're considered black. So I have to tell them to understand if your skin's a different color, that's the way you're treated. And it's a conversation that I'll have to have. It's sad. It makes me sad. I talked about it yesterday with the team. I actually teared up about it because even with these, you asked me about protesting the game. It's not even that I'm scared of the backlash from protesting or anything. I'm worried about what happens to my family when I'm at the football game or I'm away. I don't want my house vandalized. I don't want somebody, I don't want my kids going to Oak Hill Academy and everybody's looking at them crazy or not treated the same way because their dad took a stand on something that was right. So it puts athletes in a very, very tough position going through this. But I think the best thing for me is, to listen, to understand, to educate, my two young boys the best I can. And they know, they have white cousins and black, like I'm mixed. So like we've grown up, they know exactly how to treat everybody, but these conversations will have to be had in the future, but I'm hoping they won't be.
Hey, Terry McCormick, can you mute Terry? I think you're on.
Oh, sorry.
David Beauclair?
Kenny, obviously, if this is going to be your position for the season, you're going to keep yourself as informed as possible. What kind of things do you expect to do to make sure you have all the knowledge you need to discuss these issues for the next couple months?
As far as what, like diving into each case and arguing with y'all, I'm not gonna really go there.
No, I mean like broader stuff. Like, do you intend to spend your off day like researching things that you want to bring to light, or have you thought that far down the road?
I haven't even thought that far yet. And honestly, if there's a question, I don't want to. I'm just not going to talk football. We can talk about how my boys had soccer practice on Saturday and flag football on Saturdays too, if you want. I don't care. I'm just not gonna. I just think football is not the most important thing right now. It's family. It's your brothers in the locker room. It's the systematic oppression, the racial injustice is going on. It's bigger than ball. We talk about it. The NBA is shining light on it right now. So, some days we can talk about KV and Kendon. Some days we can talk about my gaming org. I'm just not talking about football.
Jim Wyatt?
I know probably Kenny's still probably in the planning stages, but what are some things that you have thought and other players have thought that you could do to maybe make a difference in the community to help not only with understanding, but just to make it a better place?
Just educating. Like a lot of times the reason why, hate is taught, people aren't brought up that way. Just educating, putting people on game, like I said, influencing the youth, because if somebody feels a certain way right now and they're 40, 50 years, like they're not changing. So the best thing we can do is have a lasting impact on our youth for future generations, whether it's getting in the schools. We talked about doing Zoom meetings with young kids, Zoom with the Titan, and just trying to touch their hearts, because that's your heart is where you change.
Gentry?
Yeah, Kenny, the sports world for a while now has taken a lead on bringing awareness to this issue. And, that's not unprecedented in history, but I mean, are you encouraged that this is happening in sports and that it seems to be in the leading role? Or are you discouraged that it takes that other industries other than sports aren't speaking as loudly?
I mean, I don't really have a feeling one way or the other with it. I just feel I've come to the conclusion that we have a platform, and we should use that to help people understand what is right from wrong. It's not even like this is a hard subject to like, this is not an argument. There's a right way to do things and there's a wrong way to do things. I don't care what color you are, what race, religion, there's a right and a wrong. And we can just use our platform as athletes, to address that situation. That's just how I'm not saying that, like I said, I haven't been on the front lines. I haven't done with, Kenny Stills, we got drafted together in New Orleans. Great dude. I've known him forever. He's mixed just like me. I'm not saying I've done all those things. I'm saying for 2020, I've taken that step that I want to speak out, and help people. So.
All right, Kenny, I think that's all. Thank you.
All right. Thank y'all.
Thank